So, lately, and after the last few events that occurred within the Genshin Impact community, like the content creator drama, horrible rewards, and other things, it became a habit that whenever a gacha game does something, this phrase would pop up: Genshin could never. Of course, I was kinda in with the Genshin bullying at first, because, let's be real, it's completely justified. But the truth is, it's deeper than that to me. Let me tell you a little story. It's June 2019, and MiHoYo just revealed that they were working on Genshin Impact. Me, as a new Honkai Impact 3rd player back then, was hyped up. I mean, it was basically Honkai Impact 4th to me. And like seriously, that was the original intention behind the game, to begin with. Until MiHoYo later decided that nah, this is gonna be its own title. About a year passes and I finally get to try Genshin Impact for the first time. I was still in early high school, so I really didn't have the financial capability to own a device strong enough to handle it. Yes, forgive me for being poor, but one of my friends had a public gaming cafe, and he had Genshin Impact on one of the computers, so I was still able to play it. The opening cutscene began, and whoa! Is that an alternate version of Hersher of the Void? This game is hype as hell! I can't wait to find out more about her and where she took my sibling. Gameplay started, and in the first 20 minutes or so, I was already seeing some fucked up flaws in the system, but I didn't really let them bother me at first. For example, I tried climbing up a cliff, ran out of stamina halfway and fell down, resulting in a lot of wasted time. I also realized gliding consumed stamina, which didn't really make sense to me back then. I played a bit longer, progressing through the Mondstadt story, eager to find out more about the unknown god and my sister. Yet, no matter how long I played, it doesn't seem like anyone knows anything about this incident. The Mondstadt story didn't click for me, and I found myself completely uninterested in whatever local issues they had there. It's like Maxwell once said, the entire story can be summarized in one line.
The dragon was mean, and then he was nice. Sun Tzu.
The combat didn't click for me either. Like, it wasn't flashy enough for me, who back then was expecting something similar to Honkai Impact. Here, let's do a side-by-side comparison between the two characters designed by HoYoverse and published in their two different games during 2020.
Deep in the heart of the city stands the lofty abode of the Raiden Shogun. She looks down upon her realm at mortal joys and woes, and sees a world mired in impermanence.
Eventually,
they vanish like a mist, but the Shogun pursues, unfettered and unperturbed eternity.
Only through eternity are you closest to the heavenly principles.
The elemental reactions fell off really fast. Like, okay, element 1 plus element 2 equals damage. But after you do it many times, it just stopped being enticing. Also, genuine question. Why are basic attacks completely useless aside from a few hyper-specific situations? Like, shouldn't be smacking someone with a hunk of metal deal more damage than drenching them, for example? Not only that, but the way the enemies don't give a fuck about what you're doing to them felt ridiculous. You can kill the entire lineage of a hilichurl in front of its eyes, set it on fire, electrocute it and cover it in piss, And that motherfucker will still come at you with a wooden club like he's the motherfucking Terminator. Also, it's funny how you can meet NPCs out in the open world, but not the actual characters that are playable. It's like the world of Tivat is a big case of Schrödinger's cat, with the cast being the cats, and the world being the box. Only when you're specifically in a quest involving a character do they actually exist in the world. Otherwise, they are banished to the Shadow Realm, never to be talked to ever again. The open world felt extremely dull and boring. Exploration comes down to 3 things: do puzzles, do side quests, and find collectibles. I hate finding collectibles in a game where movement is restricted, and Genshin makes that very clear with its stamina system. The puzzles are fine, I guess, but I wouldn't go out of my way, stop whatever brought me to their locations, just to do them. Side quests are the only okay-ish thing I experienced while exploring, even though there is a glaring lack of unique rewards. Anything you'd find through side quests can be obtained through other means, with some minor exceptions. One last thing before we move on. Let's introduce you to a game called Prototype. Prototype came out during 2019. It was a super villain open world game where if you go to an enemy base, kill everyone there and destroy it, the enemy forces will retreat and make a new base elsewhere. Their influence over the map will also decrease and you'll feel like you've dealt a massive blow to their numbers. Now fast forward 15 years. In Genshin Impact, if you drop a nuclear bomb on all the villager camps in the game, they would still respawn in a few hours like nothing ever happened. Like, at least, make it so that the base becomes deserted, or make it so that when you're out exploring, some villagers ambush you because you destroyed their base, etc, etc. That with the exceptionally repetitive and basically brain-dead combat which consists of you doing just this.
Like, literally, in Genshin, you literally just swap characters in and out and do EQ, 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 swap EQ, swap EQ. That's literally it.
And yeah, this ain't it, Chief. Sorry. I have a lot more to say, honestly, about the story, about the character design, about how weak each character's personality is, and that there aren't any correlation between a lot of quests and the main actual goal of the traveler in the story, and he just ends up being the Jesus who descended from the heavens to solve everyone's problems, despite him having no, gain out of the subject or the problem that he's trying to solve. So, but the thing is, I really don't enjoy talking about games that I don't enjoy playing, or like I didn't take a positive impression from. I really hope that Wuthering Waves, the upcoming game made by Kuro Games, is gonna be much more considerate of this issue, these issues that Genshin has, because I really want to play that game, and I really want a good anime open world RPG which everyone can play and feel like it's a good game that actually rewards you for playing it, and not doesn't just throw random shit at you and tell you, well, go do it, go do this, go solve that random NPC's problem, go pick the flowers, the random peak of the mountain that you've never been to before to upgrade your characters, go defeat this boss 70,000 times in a row just to win, or like to upgrade your character again from just it's crazy, honestly. It's crazy how Genshin players actually think that is normal for a game to do. And yeah, so I'm gonna cut the video short here because, well, like I said, I don't really enjoy talking a lot. I had like a longer part of the script, but this part was just me speaking my my opinion directly. I'm not even gonna bother cutting it or like editing the voice for it, because honestly I don't really care about this game that much anymore, and I don't really think I'm gonna go back to playing it unless they first thing, which I didn't mention, but I had mentioned in the script I wrote for the video, they should remove the level restriction on the main quest. How can you be so adamant and so like caught up in your own bullshit that you think level gating the main quest is okay? How? How? You're playing the game, just casually want to play the game, you want to enjoy the story, but no, you cannot, because every main quest that leads up from a major arc to another major arc is level gated. You have to go out and do random bullshit to level up your adventure level just to experience the main quest. How crazy can that be? How can this even be possible? How is this real? Well, whatever. I don't really, yeah, I'm gonna cut the video short here. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content like, you know, video game essays, for example, Honkai Impact, Honkai Star Rail content, and other games that I'm willing in the future to talk about, like, that are, I think are really good, both in terms of story, gameplay, and design, and everything else. They don't have to be necessarily gacha games, of course. If you just like gaming in general, consider subscribing, liking the video, and I'll see you around.
僕たちもそうである。